Okay, I need to do a little bit of venting because I saw this thing the other day that just confused and angered me. So I'm sorry, but I'm about to take it out on you guys. Okay, so the Rams have been having a pretty good season, surprisingly good, 3-3, which is basically triple the number of wins that they had last season. And part of that was because of Mark Clayton. He was doing really well, and he was a possible candidate for turnaround player of the season until he got injured per his usual and got stuck on IR. So, personally, I thought that as a result of that, Danny Amendola would become a bigger threat, but instead they signed a guy off the practice squad by the name of Danario Alexander, and he turned out a pretty good performance. 4 receptions, 72 yards, and a touchdown. So I looked into him a little bit, wanted to know a little bit more about him. Guy went undrafted out of the University of Missouri. So I thought, oh, and he's a rookie too. So I thought, well, that obviously means out of that good of a school, he must not have done too much with his last season. So, well, that at least was what I was thinking until I looked into it a little farther. Turns out Danario Alexander led the nation in receiving yards. Are the scouts idiots? And I say that wanting to say something a lot worse, okay? Now, I know that people that come from a system are generally not, how do I put this? People who are from a system and college typically are avoided by scouts. But how do you miss the guy who led the nation in receiving yards? I mean, come on. That's just ridiculous. Tim Tebow led the nation in passer rating, and he got drafted in the first frickin' round. Although maybe Tim Tebow's a bad example. Oh well. But, yeah, Danario Alexander led the nation in receiving yards and ended up going undrafted. Now, yes, he was part of a system that is tailor-made to make wide receivers look really, really good. But that's no excuse. Look at Donald Brown. He was drafted in the first round, and he was in a system specifically designed to make him look good. So, where's the discrepancy? Quarterbacks are no different. Kevin Kolb was in Houston, which is basically the biggest system of passers since Hawaii's Colt Brennan, okay? I mean, I think he went off in the third round or so. Like the second or third round. I can't remember which. But, yeah, Kevin Kolb and even Colt Brennan, like I mentioned before, he went off, I think, at the sixth round. He ended up going to the Redskins. They didn't end up using him, and now he's playing in Oakland, a.k.a. the island of misfit quarterbacks. But still, he ended up getting drafted at least. I mean, no team could find a spot for a wide receiver who led the nation in receiving yards. I mean, I can name about a half dozen teams that could be in dire need of a good wide receiver. How about Miami, somebody who could go on the opposite side of Brandon Marshall? What about Carolina? Okay, without Steve Smith, those guys are basically receiverless. I mean, who they got? Brandon LaFell, David Clowney, David Geddes, Devin Thomas, Armonte Edwards. Wow, that's a star-studded list right there. Oh, I can't wait to have those guys on my team. Seriously, that is not a good list of people. Now, I will say this, at least the Rams are smart enough to get him into the organization. And when opportunity called, he showed up, and he showed up big. Well, maybe not big, but pretty good for a debut. Now, I already took the liberty of picking him up in my 20-team league. And if he works out there, and if he does pretty good in next week's game, I am definitely going to pick him up in some other leagues if he's still available. The reason I'm doing it in my 20-team league is because there's no depth at all in my 20-team league. Anybody who puts out any sort of good performance is instantly snagged. And any quarterback who has an opportunity to start is gone before you know it. So I don't know why I brought up the quarterbacks right then. But oh well. I might talk about my 20-team league in a video sometime, but that time is not right now. But anyway, that's just what I wanted to talk about. Danario Alexander, undrafted. Come on. All 32 teams missed him. When somebody gets drafted, you usually hear the players say, oh, 31 other teams missed out. But when 32 teams miss, that's not a good sign. But at least Danario proved himself, so that's pretty good. But yeah, just about it. See you later.